What up, Chicken Nuggets? Tyler here with the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. And today I want to talk to you about my first experience with PSA's new Buyback program. Sent in 17 cards. They offered to buy 3 of them. I sold 1 of them to them. And I'm going to tell you why I did it. And then give you some tips. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm going to give you some tips on why or when you should think about doing it if you send them in and they do the buyback. I'll be honest, this is pretty great. Okay, so this is like if you take a car, you want to buy a car, new car, you can either easily trade it into the dealer and know you're going to lose a little bit, or you can take the risk and try to sell it on your own, potentially making more or potentially making less, or maybe hold it, give it to a kid of yours that's about to turn 16, or just keeps going up. Keeps going up. Cars don't do that. That's not how cars work, unless they're old cars. So here are the 3 cards that they made offers on. A lot of the other cards had a lot of Jalen Wells, Prism Rookie Silvers, had several of those, about half were that. And then some other random cards, but here were the 3 that they made offers on. First one, I had a Cameron Brink Black Velocity out of 39. It ended up getting a PSA 9. They offered me a right at $350 for that, okay? So for context, I paid $180 as a buy it now for that. Bought it raw for $180 on eBay. Then you got about a $22 fee for grading, plus there's some friction in there for shipping and all that other stuff. So you're looking at around $220 is what I have in it. That is a $130 profit, and all I did was add it to my order. Okay, so $130 profit if I accept. My takeaway from that is I'm already in the profit area, but my view on women's like WNBA, Cameron Brink, she's a young player, still got tons of potential, hasn't even made a playoff run yet. I think WNBA cards are on the rise. I have like 150, 160 cards, 167 cards. I'm sorry, can't help myself. I have like 160 cards listed on eBay, and I'd say less than 10% are WNBA cards, but I'd say about 80% of the cards that sell on Buy It Nows are WNBA. And it's just because that market keeps rising. It's like my Pokemon sold a few months ago because the market caught up and people bought my Buy It Nows. Now they're starting to do the same with WNBA. So that would be the reason to hold it. But the other reason to sell it is instant profit. Card number 2, Rod Strickland. You're like, Rod Strickland? I ain't heard old Rod Strickland in a while. 1997 Flair Legacy, row 3. It ended up getting a PSA 8. So it's a 30-year-old card. PSA 8's not bad for those legacies. And they offered me $114 for it. $114 for a Rod Strickland card. I had bought that as a buy it now. I think buy it now for $40, right at 40 after everything, plus the $25 grading, shipping. I'm about $60 all in. So that's almost double they're offering than what I paid. And the last one is a 2011 Panini Italy Tom Brady foil sticker, okay? This ended up getting a PSA 5, which I was super disappointed with. It looked really good. They offered me $18. $18. The pop is really low, so if you want them, they're hard to find. High grades go 100 plus if they're like 8s or 9s. There was a PSA 5 sale in the $15 to $20 range, so I see where they got it from. And in all 3 of these cards, I'm sitting here thinking it's like a shoe drop. You ever done a shoe drop where I'll buy this shoe as soon as it comes out? You're taking the risk. Will it go up? Will it go down? Or do I just throw it on StockX and see if I can sell it immediately, or toss it on bids first to market? That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the risk. PSA is making a calculated offer, which they own. PSA is owned by the company Collectors, or the parent company. They own PSA, SGC, and Card Ladder, which is what they've said they're getting these values from. And when I went and looked those cards up on Card Ladder, that is right in line with what Card Ladder's estimate was. So it looks to me they are using exactly what Card Ladder's estimates are on the ones they're offering. So if you send a card in and you think it's going to grade an 8, if you want to know what PSA will offer you for that, as of right now, I would guess you can go to Card Ladder, reveal the Card Ladder estimated value. That's probably what they're going to offer you based on the 3 cards that I got. I'd love to know in the comments if you've sent them in and you've gotten that as well. Now, keep in mind, they only offered me on 3 cards out of 17. So don't assume they're going to offer you on every single card you send in. And honestly, I could see where the Brink they might offer, because it's, low pop, high demand, popular player in a rising market. The Brady, because he's a big name. But honestly, the Rod Strickland, like, even though it's a legacy card, I wouldn't have thought they would have thrown money on it because there's not a lot of sales of that. There was literally one sale of that card as that same grade, a PSA 8, and that was November of last year. So, what is that? Almost a year ago, and they're going to make that. So, here's what we got. Out of those three, I accepted one of them. I accepted the Rod Strickland. Okay, I accepted them to pay me $114. I had to connect my Stripe account, and then they sent the money over into it. The Brady and the Brink, I said, nah, send those back to me. Okay, and I only had 24 hours to accept or decline this. My thought, these are the rules that I have. You ready? I'm going to read them to you. These are my 3 rules that I have to keep in mind whenever I decide to sell it straight to PSA or to bring it home. First rule, number 1, liquidity today. Is it worth it to me to save that time? Is like my time saved more valuable to me than the potential upside on selling it myself? So liquidity today. Number 2, depth of the buyer pool. There's a lot of people that want to buy Brady's. Okay, he's the most popular football player of all time. And the GOAT, whatever, his stuff sells. Okay, Brady's great, and the WNBA stuff is selling. I didn't think the Rod Strickland had a big market. There's not a ton of guys that are looking to build legacy sets just because it's so massive. Like I did with my 96 credentials. I only had 80 cards. Legacy, you've got however many players there are times 3. So there's not as many. And I think it's more sporadic. And then the last one is the grade versus the narrative. That Brady sticker being really rare, like I can crack that out of that 5, sell it raw, and it's going to go way more than that, in my opinion. Just because it's such a low grade, I'm cool to crack and relist it. The Brink, I really think that market is having a heat check right now. And I don't think Brink has even seen the top level of her potential with regards to not just her playing ability and her, but with her card market. Okay, so here's how I got this, broke this down into 6. How to decide whether to hit sell to PSA. How to sell to PSA. Here you go. You ready? So first, all-in cost. Raw plus grading plus shipping and time. How does that value equal out to you? For me, doubling my profits on that Rod Strickland, done. I don't have to put it on my table. I've got a ton of legacies and credentials. It's a very narrow market that wants that. Number 2, true comps. Are there any sales in the last 30 to 90 days? I always look, spoiler alert, what I do. If it's a rare card like that Legacy, or even the Brink that doesn't have a lot, whenever I went in to look and see if I wanted to sell it back to PSA, not only did I look at what it sold for, I always, with rare cards, look at what it's available for right now. I've said it before. The most valuable number in selling cards when it's a rare card is, what is the cheapest I can buy that for right now? I just got done. I was at RetroFest, set up there with my buddy Rick. He set that up. It was amazing. And I'm walking around. I want to buy a couple games. I want to buy 007, Nintendo 64 game in the box. And I walk up. Somebody had one. It wasn't graded. It was just in the box. I was like, oh, that'd be cool on my shelf. It's one of my top 3 favorite games ever. They had it listed at $150. I went. I usually don't look up comps anymore. I kind of roll off vibes. But I was like, I'm going to look up comps just because I don't know the video game market. I looked it up. I could have bought it on eBay, shipped to me in my hands for less than $60. I immediately walked away. I might have bought it if it was like within 10 or 20 bucks, but I didn't want to pay 3 times the value just to have it now versus 3 days from now. And so, yes, you're like, if I was going to grade it, you could see it a little better, but honestly, I zoomed in. The copy looked very similar to the one I was looking at the table. If I can buy it right now, considerable amount cheaper, why would I buy it from your table? Like, unless I think I can flip it in a few minutes and make my profit, or if I think I can grade it because, with vintage cards, like there's just a big swing in price with vintage cards, okay? Number 3, liquidity. If you want to sell back to PSA, look at the liquidity. A lot more liquidity with Brady and WNBA right now in this moment than Rod Strickland, 1997 Flair Legacies. So that's why I was like, yeah, take it. Next, your calendar. I did not have time to ship. I literally wanted to get this episode out Friday. Here we are on Tuesday, and here you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to get it out earlier. My calendar doesn't allow. I've got tons of cards I need to sell. And in my mind, I'm like, I'd love to have this on my table, selling it at shows. That'd be really cool to have some like rare 90s inserts. Nah, I just got to get it out, move on, use the money, and put it back into other cards that I want. Vis-a-vis, I'm bidding on it tonight. Today, it's Monday. This will go out Tuesday morning. I'm bidding on a Jordan Poole True Gold Prism Rookie. That is my grail card because I drew it out of a pack and had to give it away to somebody. It is now popped up. It usually pops up once or twice a year on an auction site. It's on eBay. I can say it out loud because it'll be ended by now. Wish me luck. Thoughts and prayers, baby. All right, here we go. Push the Holy Spirit at me because your boy want to win. I'll let you know. Hit me up in the comments and I'll let you know if I won that or not. Next is the narrative. Are we near a news cycle where that person's going to be talked about? Brady's always in there. Card vault's going great. Like, he's always in the narrative. WNBA falling into the narrative. I don't see Rod Strickland and or 97 legacy cards coming into the narrative anytime soon. That's why I let it go. And the last, exit math. It's an offer versus a realistic take of what I could sell that for based on what my buyers are going to ask. I know when I put that on my table, people are going to use that one comp from November to see if I could, oh, this is the comp. Will you sell it for 70% of that? And then I'm looking at $100. So I'm losing, $20 on, or sorry, I mean like 90 to 100. I'm losing 20, $30 on what I could have made from PSA immediately. Or they're going to look at that 8 sale from me buying it at $40 and want to go just above that. And then I'm breaking even. So not breaking free, as High School Musical might say. So last thing, I would love to give one more. I got another section I wanted to add in here. Is this good for the hobby? I think the upside is it's got a liquidity lane. This is a lane for liquidity for people who are just wanting to sell stuff, which how I've, SGC is kind of my PC area, but with PSA, I'll be honest, this is pretty great for me for cards that I want to sell because yes, I might just send it off, get them back, just like I would with SGC or CGC or Beckett. I might send it off, get it back, and then sell it. It's just one more option for me to be able to sell it immediately and get the money in my account. It is a fantastic option. So it's great for anybody with any cards that you want to sell. And again, if they offer me low, I don't have to accept. I didn't accept the Brady. It was too low. I didn't accept the Brink, even though it was pretty good. I didn't accept it because I think it'll keep going up. And so, plus I like the card. It's a super dope card, y'all. And so in these moments, it is a good one for people wanting to sell. Now, here's the negative. I have not seen the Rod Strickland sale that I sold to PSA. I have not seen that in card letter as a sale. If they do, if they think they're offering 80, 90%, they've just now brought the comps down on themselves. So it would hurt them. So I see why they're not. But what does that look like for the hobby? You've got someone paying real money for cards at this price, but that's not an actual comp. It's not a comp that it's used. Now they can do what they want with the comp. So it's like they're working the lemonade stand. They're the ones telling you the price, and they're the only people in town. Like they're controlling every aspect of this. That's not a good analogy. Here's a better analogy. They're the head coach, the star player, and the referee of the game, and you're trying to play the game with them. Okay, so they control a lot of it, and that's the negative of it. Last thing I want to leave you with. This is my top 5. Yeah, I came prepared, people. I got notes, y'all. We sitting here with notes, boy. Bring me back to my education stuff, boy or girl. All right, top 5. Top 5 reasons I would take PSA's offer. If it's a low-tier star or a niche set, somebody that not a lot of people are competing and bidding against. Worst case scenario, if I toss that Rod Strickland on bids starting at $1, are there at least 2 people that are going to compete with it and get it up to $114? I don't think so. That's why I didn't. I kept the Brady and the Brink because I think people would compete for those. Number 2, you're time poor. You don't have time to get it back, unbox it, ship it, sell it, do all that. You don't have the time for it. Boom, done. Money's in my account. Number 3, the offer is greater than your realistic net. If you're going to make money, don't, and I say this to somebody who kept 2 of the 3, don't hold out if you think that it's going to be like a great chance, like a long distance chance, and you don't want to keep that card long term. My Jordan Pools, I would have kept those mugs. You know what I mean? Because I love JP. I want to keep those cards forever. If I sell it, cool. But if not, I want to keep it, okay? So long-term option. 4, thin comps, and you think it's a fair estimate. Those comps are thin. You got to think in your mind, if I set up at a table or if I'm bartering with somebody on eBay, what are they going to use as comps against me? I mean, they're going to use those comps. Can I do better than what they're offering me on this card versus the comps these other people are going to use? And number 5, you're recycling your bankroll into a higher play. If you want that money right now to put into something else, go get it, baby. Get that money, boy. Get your money right. Making money moves. Go make that money now and use it for something you want for your PC or long-term or feed your kids. All right? So those are my thoughts. Long TLDR at the very end. You don't do TLDRs at the end. I think this is really convenient for people wanting to sell. And I can honestly, again, I'm not a huge like PSA fan just because of the way they're doing a lot of this stuff. I like the SGC, but I'm also not dumb, and I see what they're doing to SGC, and I see where they're pushing it. And I understand, even if I want to keep these cards forever, I'd like to put it in a registry. I'd like to attach it in Card Ladder. I'd like for it to go up in value just for my own thoughts. And if I ever did want to sell it, or if my kids want to sell it someday. So I get that. Will I send all my cards to PSA? No, I will not. But cards that I want to sell, this is a pretty great option. It's a pretty great option for me as a seller. As a collector, I like being able to put in, like, storing it in like my registry and cream a track. But I can do that right now with Card Ladder with SGC. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts in the comments? Have you done the buyback? How are the numbers for you? Let me know if you're on the YouTubes. If not, I appreciate you guys everywhere listening. You could have been anywhere in the world. You're here with me today. And I'm sorry it took so long to get this out. I had another one recorded, and I had it set for Friday. And then I left, I got busy. I wasn't able to publish it. And then I kind of thought about it. I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it was clear. I didn't feel like I did enough research. And I think I did too much research for this one. It's like too many lists, bro. Chill out. But I just want to give a breakdown, an accurate breakdown as somebody who's using this for the first time, and just kind of give my thoughts, and then give a breakdown of things you could think as you submit and or decide to use the buyback program. So let me know what you think in the comments on YouTube. If not, y'all be good, stay sweet, and never stop collecting. Sports cards are dope, and so are you. Later.